Hello, everyone. So as Ron mentioned in the session today now, we are going to look at how we are using generative AI with some of the AWS services. And my name is Narendra Gupta. I'm a specialist solution architect at AWS with focus on AWS analytics services. I have been with AWS for over 3 years now. I'm based in Bay Area, California, and mostly I work with our customers in Northern California. And today I am joined by my colleague Kishore. He's a partner solution architect, and he would be covering second part of the session. And here is a quick agenda for the session today. So we will start with a quick overview of GenAI and Amazon Q, which is our GenAI based assistant. And I would then provide a quick overview of how we are using some of these ML and GenAI based features in Amazon Redshift and Amazon DataZone. And after that, I would pass it over to Kishore to talk about AWS clean rooms and some of the ML based features and the differential privacy in clean rooms. And actually, we have talked multiple times about what is GenAI in different sessions today. But let's start with a quick overview of what is GenAI and what is Amazon Q, right? So GenAI is the next step in artificial intelligence. It is type of AI that can create new content and ideas like conversation, stories, image, video, and music. And like AI, GenAI works by using machine learning models. These are very large models that are pre-trained on the vast amount of available data. And it also uses training data to solve the new problems. For example, it can learn English vocabulary and can create a poem from the words that it has processed. And in your organization, you can use generative AI for various purposes like chatbot, media creation, and product development and design. And we have seen some of these use cases in different sessions in the day-to-day. And to help you quickly start with GenAI, at AWS, we have built a new GenAI-based service that is Amazon Q. And Q will actually transform the daily experience of developers. It will transform how do you perform your work and how we build with AWS. It will transform how quickly developers can onboard to a new team and become productive quickly, and how quickly we can build powerful applications with AWS. And we are expecting that Q would become part of every aspect of how we can complete development tasks across research, design, development, test, and also maintenance. So with that context in mind, now let's look at how we are using ML and GenAI based capabilities in some of the AWS services. We'll start with Amazon Redshift, which is our cloud native data warehousing service. As of today, Redshift uses ML based optimization to automatically find the appropriate sort and distribution keys based on users' past interaction with the cloud data warehouse. And it also performs maintenance tasks to optimize the query performance by automatically running vacuum and analyze tasks. These are some of the maintenance tasks that are run to keep the data warehouse running optimally. And Amazon Redshift Advisor also offer you specific recommendation to help you improve the performance of your query and also to decrease the performance or operation cost of your Redshift cluster. And we also have a new deployment mode on Redshift Serverless. It makes it even more convenient for you to run and scale analytics workload without the need to provision and manage data warehouse. It automatically provisions and scale data warehouse capacity to deliver fast performance for demanding and unpredictable workload. And we have now introduced a preview of next-gen AI-driven scaling and optimization in Redshift Serverless. And with this new AI-driven scaling and optimization, Redshift Serverless learn your workload patterns based on the dimensions like your query complexity and data volume. It continuously adjusts resources throughout the day to apply appropriate performance optimization, and it automatically and proactively adjusts the capacity based on the actual workload that is being utilized on the on the cluster. And you can actually use a price performance slider to set your desired performance target for the workload. And Redshift also provide Redshift ML that enables customer to create, train, and deploy machine learning models using familiar SQL commands without the need to directly interact with Amazon SageMaker. And as of today, there are about 80 billion plus inference that are running on Redshift every week. And now you can also use pre-trained publicly available large language models in Amazon SageMaker Jumpstart as part of Redshift ML. And that allows you to bring the power of large language models to the analytics services. And for example, you can make inference on your product feedback data in Redshift, and then you can use LLMs to summarize the feedback. And to use this feature, you just need to create an endpoint for an LLM in Amazon SageMaker Jumpstart. And you can leverage either out of the box predefined models, or you can train your own custom model with your own data in SageMaker Jumpstart. And then you can use the model endpoint to make remote inferences on the Redshift cluster using Redshift ML. And Redshift also has a web-based analytics workbench, what we call Query Editor V2, for you to securely explore, share, and collaborate on data with your teams using SQL within a common notebook environment. Query Editor makes it easy to query your data using SQL and gain insight by visualizing your results using charts, graphs with a few clicks. And now with Q-based generative SQL and query editor, you can securely write query requests in plain English directly within Amazon Redshift Query Editor, within the scope of your current data access permission, and receive accurate SQL query recommendations. It actually eliminates the need to deeply understand schema metadata and the complexity of SQL syntax. And it helps you in reducing the time to get insight by authoring SQL query in natural languages. And admins in your organization can enhance the security or accuracy of the account-specific SQL commands by enabling access to query history across organization with no impact on the user's permissions. And here is a quick demo of how Amazon Q-based generative SQL works in Query Editor V2. In this demo, we are using a sample ticket database that has information on the ticket sales for different events. And to access GenAI-based SQL, you need to get Generative SQL Preview enabled. And clicking on it would open a Generative SQL window. And you can ask questions like top 5 users from Seattle who bought more number of tickets. And it would generate the SQL for that questions, and you can add that SQL to the notebook. If you like to know more about the important seller, you can ask it in plain text, and the generated SQL can be added to the notebook. You can then run all the query in the notebook environment and review the results. And all the generated query history is also maintained and is used to further improve the query accuracy. So now let's look at DataZone. Amazon DataZone is a data management service that makes it faster and easier for you to catalog, discover, share, and govern stored data across AWS services, either on-premises or also in third-party sources. DataZone is driven by data producer, like your data engineers, data scientists, who shares data securely with the right business context with others in the organization. And your data consumers, like your data analysts, who would find the answers to business questions from this data and then share it with others in the organization. This workflow allows customers to create a decentralized and federated ownership model for data producer and data consumer that we often call data mesh, where data producer publish, own, and govern their data assets by setting up publishing agreement with data stewards. And then data consumer can consume that data that they are interested in after completing the approval workflow with the data owners. And one of the core component in DataZone is an organization-wide business data catalog, where you can catalog the data across the organization with the business metadata and right context. The business metadata catalog enables you to make data visible with the right business context to everyone in your organization to find and understand data quickly. But as you all know, that adding business context to the technical metadata is an involved process, and it needs dedicated effort from the data owners to define business context for their data. And so to help in adding business context to your data, we have now introduced a new feature, which is AutoDoc, to make it easier to add context to business metadata that helps in your data discovery by consumer. It is an AI-driven capability inside DataZone that suggests business names and classification and generate business description for your schema in the data catalog that then can be reviewed by you before it is made available for consumer to look or use in the data discovery. And this feature is powered by Amazon Bedrock large language model. And here's a quick demo of how DataZone can quickly generate business metadata and description of your catalog data. You can review the generated descriptions and accept or reject the suggestion before it is made available for discovery by business analyst.